All right. Well, everybody introduce yourselves.
I'm Riley Morty Jr.
I'm Matt the Rattlesnake Lesch.
I'm Luke Soulard.
Yes. And first of all, how the hell did you get the name Rattlesnake?
So I believe it was actually at the Blue City Deli when I first heard it. I remember coming off the stage and somebody had told me that when I'm on stage I'm as unpredictable as a rattlesnake.
Uh-huh.
And so that was the first time it kind of, was said. Then I met Big George and he had heard about that nickname, and you know how the old guys are.
Yeah.
He just called me by that.
Yeah, wouldn't leave it alone.
And that's what kind of set it in stone.
Yeah. Yeah. It works for you, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's working for you.
Oh, yeah. This thing, too.
Yeah. So I know all of you guys play with lots of different people.
Yeah.
Lots of different people. But you two especially, I see you together a lot. Yeah. So it seems to be working. Is it the Matt the Rattlesnake Band? What's this particular conjunction called?
Well, normally when we're all together, and including Takora and Morgan as well, we're this Matt the Rattlesnake Lesch Band, and these guys have definitely been with me the longest, and we've been together, I think, going on 8 years now. And
Longer than most marriages
right,
these days.
Exactly. So you can say that we love each other. But it was just I feel like a special connection. I remember the first time Riley and Takora came to the Blues Museum and sat in with me there, and ever since then we've kind of been a unit. And then me and Luke met each other in college at Webster, and we started playing together a lot. He sat in with me once and just, kind of went off from there.
Wow.
And so we all have very good chemistry with one another, and I think trust too. You don't have to really worry about, somebody, not doing right or
Egos.
Talking behind your back or none of that stuff. Everything. It's just one big musical family.
Yeah. Yeah. Webster, by the way, is my alma mater.
Oh, okay.
77.
77, okay. Yeah. See, we're 21.
The other question that I've been asking everybody is, what song that you heard made you tune into music that clicked for you? Do you remember? What song, what artist?
There's so many,
Yeah.
it's like different points in life. Like, oh, I really love that song. I really love that. The first musical memory, of something that I love was, it was the song Baby Mine from Dumbo, the movie. And there was a Disney country album. So country artists do Disney. I think Alison Krauss did a version of that.
Wow.
And I was just in love with that when I was a toddler.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I can remember, I think.
Yeah. How about you?
I think for me, the first thing that really caught my attention that made me want to pursue music is I saw a live video of Stevie Ray Vaughan, well, actually a couple albums, but Stevie Ray Vaughan live at the El Macambo in 1983. He was doing his version of Texas Flood, and it was just him and a trio, him and Double Trouble, and he was just tearing it up on the live video, just complete, chaos, and I just couldn't take my eyes off the screen. So that was one of them. Also, another big one of mine was Muddy Waters. I forget what it was. It was another live performance, but it was him doing Long Distance Call.
Wow. And you were how old?
At that time, I was like 12.
He was a young boy with the blues.
11, 12, and going on 12.
Yeah. Yeah, you got bit hard and early.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's, when I started, I played a lot of Stevie Ray Vaughan and stuff. And then I started meeting other people around here, like Big Mike Aguirre. Rich McDonough, who turned me on to other artists and told me to listen to other things. So that's when I kind of got really big into Albert King as well, and all these other Kings, B.B. King, Freddie King. I had listened to them before that, but I was just playing a lot of Stevie Ray.
Yeah.
And then obviously when I met Big George, I was on the Muddy Waters path from there.
There you were.
So.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I saw you playing with Big George, I went, who's that little white boy? Where he come from?
Oh yeah. I remember the first night I met Big George, I was at BB's. He had heard I was coming, because I think at the time Marty Spikner was drumming for him and Sean Harris was playing guitar. And then I told him I was coming out to sit in, this little 16-year-old kid. He thought I was 12 at the time. So he gets on the mic, he's like, we got a 12-year-old in the house. And I told Clary, I'm like, I'm 16. He's like, he's 16, George. We got a 16-year-old in the house. But then he called me up about halfway through the night, and he kept me up the rest of the night. And, ever since then, he told me he was going to, take care of me, take me around. And said he was going to take me down to Clarksville. And then that next year he did.
That must have been an adventure for you.
Oh, yeah.
At what, 17?
And 17.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Steeped in the blues.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our approach.
Yep. So what's your first musical memory?
I was 5 years old, and I saw James Brown on Soul Train.
Uh-oh.
And that hooked me ever since then. 5 years old. And my dad saw how interested I was in music, so he taught me drums. And I've been banging away ever since.
Yeah, well, your family is just rife with the blues and music in general. Yeah.
Yeah, we were kind of shy and quiet about it, but yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And I met Big George through my dad. He had played with Big George. In the 60s, he had a hugely popular nightclub called the Club Caravan. And they used to broadcast radio stations from there. That's how my dad met Big George. And in 1981, I was 12. That's when my dad, Big George needed a drummer, so my dad suggested me. So my dad and I played with Big George for about 4 years. Then my sister Takora came along, and Big George needed a bassist. And it was just us three for a long while. And we have another sister who is no longer in the music business, and she played keyboards with Big George. So it was us four for about 15 years.
Wow.
And I've been playing with Big George for 28 years.
Yep, so he brought a lot of people along. Yeah.
Yep.
So what was the raunchiest, scariest, weirdest gig you ever played?
Oh, that's hard to answer. That's really hard to answer. Let me ponder that thought.
Because Cosmo and those guys, they were talking about the chitlin circuit and playing the chitlin circuit. So you ever do the chitlin circuit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, when I first started out, they weren't allowed to let youngsters in nightclubs unless accompanied by a parent. So luckily my dad was with me the whole time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was only 12 when I started in Big George. So.
Wow.
We played in some 21 and up clubs when we were 19 and 20. And probably younger for you. It helped having a beard at the time, a full beard.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're good.
Yeah, but he looked like a baby even with a beard.
I remember, I don't know about the scariest, but this is a funny story. It comes to my mind. My good friend Dirk Jones, who used to play Big George, or play drums with Big George when I was playing with him. And we were at Red's Juke Joint in Clarksdale, Mississippi one night. I believe it was the first time I had played there. And I remember we're in the middle of a set, and I turn around and Dirk is just like hitting the wall with a drumstick and like flipping bags and stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, there's a spider the size of my hand crawling. And then he called my dad over to have him start flipping bags when he didn't know what was really. So he's flipping bags, and he told my dad, he's like, "This is spider." And my dad's like, "Why are you looking at me flipping bags?" It was a really funny story. I was like, "Oh God."
Yeah, Dirk's in Las Vegas now, right?
He's actually in St. Louis right now.
Ah, okay.
He's relocated, yeah. He
Yes.
surprised me last night at Hammersmith.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'd like to see him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you go. You got any stories, Luke?
I regularly play some clubs in town that get pretty active. In other words, fights, Westport area.
Oh, that's a different kind of fight.
Yeah, like. I played the Chitlin circuit too. There was I don't remember some great story, but there was a place in Atlanta that I played called Blind Willie's Nightclub, and the owner is just someone you would call a curmudgeon. Like he's just like.
Was he blind?
No, but he's just real sour attitude towards us. Like you would have thought we were just some, people you picked up off the street, and you're just doing that to everyone. And I've talked to some other, touring musicians who said they had the same or worse experience. But other than that, it was a great gig to play. Great crowd. Went outside. It was like right in the middle of the city. Everybody walking by. What's going on here?
Who were you with?
I was with Tony Holiday. That was last year. But yeah, luckily, vast majority of gigs I've played are, without some horrible story attached to it.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's good. So, you've played other places, but what keeps you in the St. Louis blues scene? Because a lot of musicians from St. Louis up and leave.
Yeah.
What keeps you here?
I really think the community here in St. Louis, the blues scene, the fans, the musicians are just one to no one. It's just, above everything else that I've witnessed. Talking about like the other states, regionally. It's just, St. Louis just has this special, there's a special feeling, I feel like. And also, I feel like a lot of people outside of St. Louis overlook this city when it comes to the blues a lot.
Yeah.
And they don't really realize how much, impact the city really had. Because if you think about it, the people, when they were migrating up to Chicago, like Muddy Waters and them from the south, they had to pass through St. Louis. So some of them stayed. Some of them left. Like Albert King, he stayed in St. Louis for a while, and then ended up going to Chicago. But many people, got their start here in St. Louis, and I feel like it's just overlooked a lot. So.
You would be surprised. I've interviewed 6 different people today, and they've all said the same thing, that St. Louis gets overlooked.
It does.
Yeah.
How do you change that?
Well, I think a good way to change it is, younger artists that are traveling or have the opportunity to travel, always, they always need to say where they're from, because, people are going to ask. I get asked a lot when I'm out of town or in different countries, like, where are you from? I'm from St. Louis. And everybody's heard of St. Louis in some way, shape, or form, even out of this country. And I say I'm from St. Louis, and even some people are like, they got that going on down there. People just don't know.
We started it.
I couldn't tell you. But all I can say and attest for is that myself, other people like Dylan Triplett that are going out here and doing this thing and traveling, we always make it a priority to say where we're from and let people know that, we're from St. Louis, and, we got some of the best blues here in town. We really do. I'm not just saying that just because, we're from St. Louis, but we really do. So I really do believe that.
And I think it helps that they opened the National Blues Museum here in St. Louis. That helps out a whole lot. It tells the whole history of blues in the city. So.
Oh yes, for sure.
So it provides a venue
Exactly.
for people to play. So it's not a static situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also feel like a lot of the higher ups in St. Louis, a lot of them don't realize what we have too. A lot of people that are in controlling of, I don't know, like
Money.
basically money. They just don't realize what we really have and the history and the culture of it, and how important it really is, because it's very popular. You saw the BBs be on Broadway, like they were always packed, always something going on.
Yeah.
It's very, very loved here.
I think it always ends up art versus sports.
Yes, yeah. Same with schools.
Yeah.
Just some take, art programs or music programs out of school, just because those are the first ones that get cut, unfortunately. And I mean, they're just as important. I mean, not everybody's an athlete or anything like that. There's a lot of talented musicians that want to do this. They just don't have a place to do it, or they may not have money to get an instrument, so they look, they might get one through band or something. They can rent one, and that gives them an opportunity to actually try to do something with music. And that's being taken away slowly, which is unfortunate.
So the St. Louis Blues Society is trying to help out with blues in the schools. So, and it takes young people like you to get involved with that,
Yes.
to carry it on.
I've had some conversations, and I'm definitely very interested in, being a part of that. For sure, I love teaching, and I'm a teacher as well. So I love teaching, and especially blues. I love teaching, handing down, what I've learned from, even though I am a young man, handing down, what I've learned so far to the younger, people coming up, and just try my best to keep it going.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and
And I find it rich that Riley represents one generation, you represent another generation, but it's on the continuum. It keeps going. It just keeps going.
Exactly.
So when did you first get the blues, Luke? Because did it start with Disney?
No. I didn't. I had the pleasure of growing up right next to Jefferson Barracks Park, which is where Blues on the Mississippi would be held. And my dad says he would take me when I was a baby. Ever since then, they stopped about 15 years ago. The Blues on the Mississippi, again due to some funding issues. The person in charge didn't care about the arts, so it was gone. But through that Blues on the Mississippi, I would see, like I remember Billy Peake, remember Eddie Cotton, Chubby Carrier, great Zydeco band, Kim Massey, of course. That was my first memory of the blues. My dad loves the blues, and he would have on KDHX all the time. Papa Ray, the Blur's Day Boys, Art Dwyer. So blues has been present my whole life. It's been around me.
Yeah.
My whole life. So.
Yep. It's kind of in the air.
Yeah.
It's in the air.
Oh yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So you're one of the younger musicians. I'm going to ask this question to Riley. What would you tell younger musicians coming along? What word of advice would you have for them?
I would say, first of all, love what you do, and it'll come to you just like that. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, just love what you do.
And you'll learn quicker. the more you learn, the more easy it'll come to you. Yeah, and you'll enjoy what you do. It's like I do.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep. Any other words for posterity?
Support live music. You know, don't stop going out to see live music. You know, just because you got everything on your phone.
Yeah.
It really, you know, means a lot when we, you know, us as musicians see people coming out and, you know, actually paying attention and watching what we do. You know, it makes us feel good and makes us feel like we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I've said this over and over again. Live music keeps me alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why I show up.
I really feel like the blues is meant to be heard live. You know, listening to recordings is one thing, but hearing it live is completely different.
Different, yep.
Completely different. You know, and I can't stress that enough to people. And, I've had some people come to me, like even like when I was in high school, they're like, I don't like no blues. Then they come see me play. They're like, "Whoa, that was cool."
Yeah.
It's like, well, let's see. You know, you got to experience it live. You know, because it's really about, you know, the energy in the room. But if you're doing it right, you're gonna transfer the energy to the crowd, and they're gonna transfer it right back. It's just gonna create a loop.
Well, you keep them going every time I've come out to see you.
I try my best.
Yep, you keep it going. Anything from you, Luke? Anything? Last words of wisdom?
And everything Matt said, the blues is alive. That's what I have to say. The blues is still alive and well. And it always will be. You know, as long as we keep passing it down to the next generations. You know, live music needs support more than ever now.
Yes.
You know, just the arts is it's in trouble currently.
Yeah.
Arts as a whole, but you know, we'll make it through because we still have the live music. We still, you know, are able to share this community in music and music lovers. You know, because there's nothing like it. You know, I've been going to concerts my whole life. It's just an awesome experience.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
It's awesome. Like, you know, once you see it, you're hooked.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And I would like to say one last thing.
Okay.
And I want to end this with something I heard Big George say, and that is the blues is nothing but the truth.
That's all it is.
And if you can prove me otherwise, I'll stop playing the blues.
Right.
So,
That's a good word for the wise. Good thing
Like
that,
Little Milton said, blues is all right.
right, right.
yeah.
It is.
Yep.
So I guess that's it.
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.